Hey y'all, and welcome to Victoria's Cantina. Today we're having a look at the Hasbro Star Wars The Black Series, number 16, Princess Leia Organa in Boushh disguise. This figure makes up part of the latest wave of Hasbro Star Wars 6-inch Black Series figures. As you can see from the packaging, it's more of the same. Back of the box gives us a look at Princess Leia next to Bib Fortuna, and at the top it says number 16, Princess Leia Organa. It's also notable that it doesn't have the other translations of her name as we saw with the Clone Commander Cody figure that is also in this wave. Okay, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and get Princess Leia out of her box, and once we get her unleashed, we'll take a closer look at this figure and see how it stacks up. Alright, you guys, and here is Princess Leia out of the packaging. As you can see, it's a pretty nicely done figure. It doesn't look 100% to me. It looks good. There's just a few problems that I have with the figure that I will go over in a little bit more detail in just a moment. Sculpt work on the figure is pretty nice. The silhouette and proportions look to be quite good. Coloring on the figure seems to be pretty nice. I think the pants look a little bit vibrant, but I guess if you go back and look at stills from the film, it looked more or less like that, kind of like a leathery type look. Leia's also got a lot of articulation, and she comes with 4 accessories, which is totally awesome, and we will look at those in just a second. Here's a close-up of Leia's head. As you can see, it isn't bad. I just don't think it looks particularly like Leia. I mean, it looks like maybe like somebody doing like a cosplay of Princess Leia in this outfit. It's good. I mean, it's good in the sense that Hasbro did a nice job sculpting and painting this, but it just doesn't really look like Leia, per se. I don't know if it's maybe the eyebrows being, a little bit too arched and situated a little too closely together, or the eyes maybe being a little too big. It's really hard to say, but it just doesn't look all that much like Princess Leia to me, which is pretty unfortunate because, figures like this, you do expect the likeness to be a lot better. But again, the makeup application on her is actually very pretty. They painted the eyes nicely. The eyebrows are nice. She's got some nice eyeshadow. The blush on her cheeks and the color on her lips is very nice. Hair is painted pretty well. It's basically just like an auburn, like brown. And it's not perfect. I mean, as you can see, like here on her head, I mean, they didn't paint it completely perfectly. It's a little bit messy in some areas. But, it's not terrible. The ears do look a little bit unusual, I would say. But apart from the head, the rest of the outfit is actually really, really nice. I like what they did here. And whenever you see Leia in this outfit in Return of the Jedi, it's not a very gritty, dirty-looking outfit. It looks quite nice. Kind of looks like a mixture of suede and leather or something. And I think Hasbro did a pretty good job here. The only thing I would say is that the orange of the pants looks a little bit vibrant, but that may be correct. The tans, though, and the browns, mahogany, looks very nice. Her bandolier is very nice. It is a sculpted piece that's placed over the figure. And her cape looks pretty nice. It opens up a good bit. The boots look quite nice. Pretty nicely done. In the way of articulation, Princess Leia has a ball joint here at her head. You can swivel her neck up and down. Works pretty well. She has a ball hinging at both of her shoulders. And again, they work pretty well. No swivels at the upper bicep, which is good because it would be a little bit unsightly. She does have a ball hinging at the elbows. She has hinging at both of her wrists, and both of the wrists are the same. It goes backward and inward. She has a hinge here at the upper torso that enables you to move it around like so. You can also kind of twist it back and forth. That's all you get in terms of the torso. It seems like she does have ball hinging at both of her hips, but it's kind of hard to say definitively since her skirt kind of blocks, any such articulation. So we can't really determine it, one way or the other because of the way that it's situated. Either way, it's not necessary if she does, since the skirt prevents such movement. She has swivels at her upper thighs. She has double bends at both of her knees. And then finally she has rocker hinging at both of her ankles. So very nicely articulated figure, plenty going on here, and I think it's totally adequate in terms of what Hasbro chose to do with her in terms of articulation. In the way of accessories, Princess Leia comes with 4 of them, the first one being her bounty hunter helmet, as you can see here. And it's sculpted very nicely, it's painted very nicely. Looks like Hasbro did a really good job with the helmet. It's got all the detail you might expect, and, I like the coloring on it. Now, unfortunately, the helmet is not a very good fit. If I put it on her, it's a very stiff fit. It goes on her, but you can still see the side of her face, like from the side. You can see her head under there. Her chin kind of sticks out. It just doesn't seat all the way down very well. Not to mention the fact that it is a little bit too big. It just looks like a very big helmet compared to what it looked like in the film. So, there is room for improvement with this figure for sure. I think that's a little bit lackluster on Hasbro's end to not do a little bit of a better job with that, because it's just a little bit strange. She has a backpack, and it simply pegs into her back, and the backpack plugs into her back just like that. She has her staff that she had when she walked into Jabba's palace when she was trying to negotiate a deal for selling Chewbacca. And pretty nice. It's like a deep gray color. Pretty nicely sculpted and, a nice looking accessory. Leia also comes with her thermal detonator. Did you hear what I said? That's a thermal detonator. The detonator does have a hole underneath it, and it kind of has a little bit of like a ridging, like on the opposite side. But her hand doesn't have a peg or, anything really to use, the hole or the little ridging. So, you can place it in her hand and she holds it. But, I kind of expected that because that hole is there that it's meant to be fitted somewhere. Now, I suppose if you wanted to, you could put it on top of the staff because it does seem to attach to it. I guess you could do that. Or maybe even here. Yeah, I guess you could do that too. Or maybe even here. Yeah, it doesn't look right. Let's not do that. Just to give you a comparison with the previously available 6-inch Princess Leia, I think that one definitely has a better head sculpt. It looks a lot more like Princess Leia. This one, I don't know, it just doesn't look like her. It just looks, I don't know, like someone else. You'll also notice that Leia in the Bounty Hunter outfit is way bigger than the Slave Leia figure. Very interesting and quite peculiar how they would make 2 Princess Leias so drastically different in size, even though they're from the same exact lineup. She's even just a smidge taller than her brother, which just ain't right.
That just ain't right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so there you have it. This is the Hasbro Star Wars, the Black Series. Number 16, Princess Leia Organa in Boushh disguise, 6-inch scale figure. Overall, I think it's a pretty good figure. I think Hasbro did a nice job with the sculpt work. The paint on it looks quite nice. So the accessories are quite nice, although it's a little bit weird how the thermal detonator doesn't really fit anywhere. The helmet is very nicely sculpted and nicely decorated, but it's a little bit too large and it doesn't seat onto Leia's head very well. Backpack works properly. Her staff is quite nice. The likeness of Princess Leia isn't all that great. It looks okay. It just doesn't really look like Leia, but they did do a nice job with the makeup. Articulation is quite nice. It's quite adequate for this specific figure. All in all, if you're a Princess Leia fan, then you're certainly going to want to have this in your collection. Princess Leia figures as of late are very few and far between, so this is nice that Hasbro decided to make her. But, the figure itself could stand to be improved upon. I really hope that Hasbro gets around to doing a 6-inch Leia figure in her classic A New Hope white gown. That's one of the ones that's at the very top of my wish list for 6-inch Black Series. So while it is a nice figure, I must note that, there are some things that, should be tweaked and, it could be a little bit better. But all in all, it's pretty good. All right, my friends, if you like this video, please be sure to like and subscribe. As always, I want to thank you for watching Victoria's Cantina. Until next time, bye-bye.